The kind of investment that says, I am worthy of becoming the best version of myself. So many of us have been conditioned to believe that investing in ourselves is selfish. We pour into everyone else, our families, our friends, our jobs, but leave ourselves running on empty. And then we wonder why we feel stuck, why we feel like life is passing us by. But here's the truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot show up for the people you love, the dreams you have, or the life you want if you don't first show up for yourself. Investing in yourself is not just a luxury. It is a necessity. Think about it. Your mind, your body, your spirit, these are the engines driving every aspect of your life. If you don't take care of them, if you don't nurture and strengthen them, how can you expect to move forward? How can you expect to thrive? Let's break this down. What does investing in yourself actually look like? It starts with your mindset. Your thoughts create your reality, and if you're constantly feeding yourself doubt, fear, or negativity, how can you expect to succeed? Investing in your mindset means dedicating time to learning, to growth, to expanding what you believe is possible for yourself. It might mean reading books that inspire you, listening to voices that uplift you, or surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better. Then there's your time. How are you spending it? Are you using it to move closer to your goals, or are you letting it slip away on things that don't truly matter? Time is the one resource we can't get back. When you invest your time wisely, whether it's in building a skill, working on your health, or simply resting when you need it, you are making a statement about what you value. And let's not forget your energy. Protecting your energy is one of the most powerful investments you can make. That might mean setting boundaries, saying no to things that drain you, or walking away from relationships that no longer align with the person you're becoming. Your energy is sacred, and where you direct it determines what grows in your life. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't have the time, or I can't afford to invest in myself right now. But let me tell you this, you can't afford not to. The best investments don't always cost money. They require intention. They require commitment. They require you to believe that you are worth it, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. Think about this. If you were to invest in a stock or a business, you'd want to put your resources into something with a high return, right? Something with potential, with promise. Well, there is no better investment than you. You are your most valuable asset. The returns on investing in yourself ripple into every area of your life, your relationships, your career, your health, your happiness. And let's be real. When you grow, the people around you grow too. Your courage inspires others. Your willingness to bet on yourself gives them permission to do the same. Investing in yourself is not just an act of self-love. It's an act of leadership. It's you saying, I'm ready to become the person I was created to be. So whether it's waking up a little earlier to work on your dreams, spending time in prayer or meditation to center your spirit, or taking a class to expand your skills, make that investment. Show up for yourself every single day, because the life you want doesn't just happen. It's built step by the choices you make. And let me tell you this, when you choose to invest in yourself, you are choosing possibility over limitation. You are choosing abundance over scarcity. You are choosing a future that reflects your highest potential. Prioritize meaningful connections, relationships that enrich your life. The truth is, our relationships shape us in ways we often don't even realize. They influence how we see the world, how we see ourselves, and ultimately how far we can go in life. That's why it's so important to prioritize meaningful connections, the kind that uplift, inspire, and push you to be better, not the ones that weigh you down or keep you small. Now, let's get real. Too many of us spend precious time maintaining relationships out of obligation rather than authenticity. We hold on to people because we've known them forever, because we're afraid to hurt their feelings, or because we don't want to be alone. But let me tell you something. You cannot afford to give your energy to people who don't value it. Your time, your love, your presence, these are gifts, and they deserve to be treated as such. Confront fear head on. Fear is the barrier to your breakthrough. Fear, just saying the word can make your chest tighten, can it? Fear has this way of creeping into our minds and whispering, what if you fail? What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if they laugh at you? What if it all falls apart? It's relentless, isn't it? But here's the truth about fear. It is the greatest thief of potential. It robs you of your confidence, your dreams, and your ability to step into the life you were meant to live. Now, let's get real about fear. Fear isn't the enemy, it's a natural response. It's your brain trying to protect you from discomfort, from rejection, from the unknown. But too often we allow fear to overstay its welcome. We give it the keys to our decisions, let it dictate our actions, and before we know it, we're stuck living smaller, playing safer, settling for less than we deserve. I know what it feels like to let fear take the wheel. It tells you to stay in that job you've outgrown because starting over is too risky. It tells you not to speak up in the meeting because your idea might not be good enough. It tells you to keep your dreams locked away because trying and failing feels scarier than not trying at all. But let me tell you, this fear only has power over you if you let it. To create the breakthrough you've been longing for, you have to confront fear head on. You have to call it out for what it is, a barrier, not a brick wall. Fear is not permanent, it's temporary. It's not a stop sign, it's a hurdle. And hurdles are meant to be jumped over. The first step in confronting fear is recognizing it. Sometimes fear disguises itself as practicality. I'm just being realistic, you might say. Or it shows up as procrastination. I'll start next week, next year, when I'm ready. But when you strip away the excuses, what's really underneath? Fear. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. Once you name your fear, you can start to dismantle it. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Seriously, take a moment and imagine the absolute worst case scenario. Will it destroy you? Will it end your journey? Most of the time, the answer is no. You might stumble, you might feel embarrassed, you might need to try again, but you'll survive. And often the fear of what might happen is far greater than the reality of what does happen. Now, here's the key. You don't need to eliminate fear to move forward. You just need to act in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else, your dream, your purpose, your breakthrough is more important. Every time you take a step toward what scares you, the fear shrinks a little. The voice gets quieter. The grip loosens. And let me remind you of this: fear is not fact. It's a feeling. It's your mind creating scenarios that haven't even happened yet. But you have the power to write a different story. Instead of imagining failure, imagine success. Instead of picturing rejection, picture acceptance. Replace what if I fall with what if I fly. When you confront fear head on, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that you are bigger than your doubts, stronger than your insecurities, and braver than you've ever given yourself credit for. Fear will always try to show up, but you get to decide whether it sits in the passenger seat or takes the wheel. Your breakthrough is on the other side of fear. It's waiting for you, calling to you, daring you to take the first step. So face the fear, feel the fear, and move forward anyway. Because when you do, you'll realize that fear wasn't the giant you thought it was just a shadow. And you're the light. Set intentions, not just goals. Live with purpose every day. Let's start with a question. What is guiding your days? Are you moving through life with a clear sense of who you are and what you want, or are you simply checking off boxes, crossing items off a to-do list, and hoping it all adds up to something meaningful? So often we set goals without connecting them to our deeper